Do you or someone you know suffer from hinging like a pooping dog? If so, here's some tips. First one's gonna be a TRX RDL. So the goal of this is really to learn how to displace our hips posteriorly in that hip capsule. So feet shoulder width apart, unlock of the knees, hands are just resting on the TRX straps, and all you're doing here is pushing those straps out away from you, letting the butt translate backwards. So hands shouldn't be holding onto the straps, they're just resting. So at any point I should be able to lift my hands off the straps and I stay nice and balanced. The TRX works great for learning how to shift the hips backwards, but then to make sure that we can actually activate out of that, I like to then use a band. Band goes right around the hip bones, exact same setup, feet shoulder width, unlock knees, and then I'm letting the band pull the hips backwards, thinking of my TRX straps that are out in front of me, and then pressing hips into the band to come back up. Cue that I really like for this is tailbone should be reaching towards the ceiling, and as I come up, I'm thinking of dragging my feet underneath me as I press into that band. Next, in order to really learn how to get a big stretch in the glutes and hamstrings as we go into an RDL, I like to go into a floating heel RDL. So now that we've established we can push the hips backwards, we know how to kind of squeeze up and out of it, I want to be able to keep that activation and build up a really big stretch in the bottom of that hinge. So feet shoulder width, I'm going to come up onto the balls of my feet, not my toes, just the balls of the feet, heels slightly off the ground. Unlock the knees, then I'm going to use my fingers to push my hips back. Again, imagining my TRX and my band are both still with me. Once I'm here, I'm trying to drive my feet into the floor, and I want to imagine coming back up and pressing into my hands, but I'm not going to move. And I should start to feel a squeeze in my glutes, squeeze in my hamstrings, but I'm just going to hold it right here. Really driving toes into the ground, imagining pulling the feet back behind me, dragging them along the floor. I'm going to hold it right there until I can really feel some good activation while I'm in a stretched position. That tends to be the hardest part for people. And then once I get to that point where I'm starting to shake a little bit, I'm slowly going to keep, again, driving toes, dragging them back behind me, and then full squeeze at the top. Now we can learn how to translate that into a normal hinge, because I'm not going to do every single exercise up on my toes. So feet are going to be exact same position, except now I'm just flat on the floor, and the pressure in my foot is right in the middle. I don't want it to be too far on my toes. I don't want it to be too far on my heel. Same setup, unlock knees. Imagine pushing those hips back behind. And as I do so, I want that pressure in my foot to stay in the middle. I'm not, again, too far toes, not too far the heels. I'm still trying to get that nice big stretch. Then I'm going to start to squeeze. Again, imagining dragging my heels back behind me. And we're squeezing, we're squeezing, we're squeezing. I'll hold that for a good period of time until I finally start to come up. Again, feet dragging behind, full squeeze at the top. Last step is typically adding some sort of weight. I like to start with the kettlebell just because it's a little bit easier from a upper body positioning perspective. So again, feet shoulder width, exact same setup, middle of the foot pressure. Only difference now is since I have something in my hands, I want to keep shoulder blades pinned back behind me just so that I don't end up folding forward. So chest stays tall like a chest bump, and then everything else is the exact same. I'm building up that back of the leg tension and then dragging my feet back behind me to come back up.